and because men are pigs, and they're shitty people with both sets of genitalia. God damn it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we're sitting at the bar. He does like the cool guy wave, and I'm like, did you just do like the cool guy like shaky finger wave? He goes, fuck you, man, I'm working. I'm like, okay, all right, I got you, baby. And so we sat there, we ordered a drink, and Jason kind of put his hand up to guard his face so I couldn't see him talking to the bartender.
Right.
And like I'm a child, like I don't know you're talking about me. Like, fuck you, buddy. Like, don't insult my intelligence. I know the reason for the season. I know why the fuck we're here.
Right.
And he goes even further. And
like, oh shit, I was born today?
Right. Word? And he puts his hand up to block his face and then points in my direction. I'm like, I know who the fuck you're talking about. You're pointing directly at my titties. I'm a nearly 300-pound man. Are you pointing around me? Are you trying to tell her about fire safety hazards or some shit? No, I know what you're saying. So I knock his hand down. I was like, say what you're going to say, motherfucker. And he goes, all right, it's his birthday. Do you guys have any deals going on? She says not a word to him and walks off. And he's like, oh, well, I guess she doesn't care that it's her birthday. And 5 seconds later, she comes back with 2 Jaeger bombs. And I immediately regretted the decision to leave the house. So I was like, oh God, I smelt it. I was like, I've always been the type of person like beggars can't be choosers, and friggin' if you're getting treated, it's rude to say no.
Right.
Unless you have like an allergy or a religious or to whatever's being served you, whether it's food or whatever.
Sure.
If somebody walks up with a handful of peanuts and you have an allergy, I'm not saying like bite the bullet. Like, right, just deal with a little bit of puffiness, you pussy. Like, no, I'm not saying
well,
that.
If you've got a religious objection, you probably shouldn't be at a bar.
Word.
In the first place.
But you know what I mean. Like, not just in a bar, but in a general sense. So
you're taking it whether you like it or not.
Right. I was like, oh, God, here we go. So I threw that back. It was fucking disgusting. But I kept trooping. And then slowly but surely, people started to filter out the bar. And like the girls that would wave at Jason and shit went out of their way to like walk past him at the bar just to let him know like hey, like
just to graze his shoulder or something.
Right, just like I'm here.
Oh, oops.
I'm here. I'm feminine and I'm alive. Like, all right, get out of here, wallflower. And they made their way out of the bar, going the long way. And after a while, it was the bartender, Jason, myself, and then 2 other guys. And one of the other guys I recognized because I went to high school with him.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, he probably doesn't recognize me. He's going to stay at the other end of the bar, and that's going to be that. And the other guy, I didn't know from Adam. So
right.
The guy I went to high school with gets up from his seat after a while, comes over and sits with us because by this time, me and Jason are playing all the stupidest songs on the fucking karaoke machine.
Hell yeah!
And we're having an awesome time.
Okay,
it's a 2-man party, and we're getting down.
Fuck
and
yeah.
So the guy I went to high school with comes around, sits next to me. He goes, "So it's your birthday, huh?" I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Hey, my name's Luke." I was like, "I know, I remember you from high school." Shook his hand. I was like, "Brandon." Yeah. And like, "Oh shit!" And we started catching up. And he goes, "So what are you doing nowadays? What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "Oh, I work here, blah blah blah, uninteresting, whatever." He goes, "Oh sweet, well I'm an underwater welder." I'm like, "Fuck you."
You're like, I never asked actually what you did.
But I was going to ask, and then immediately after he told me, I was like, "Man, you couldn't say some shit like, I wash cars, bro." Like, no, you're like, "Oh yeah, I go underwater in the Gulf of Mexico and weld while sharks swim around me and shit and fucking wildlife and all this."
Right.
Like, no, your job had to be ultimately cooler than mine. It's like, my wife's at home asleep and I'm pretty sure she's moist, just fucking dreaming about what I know. So, so we're talking and catching up, And he says to the bartender, he's like, "Hey, it's this man's birthday." I was like, "My buddy Jason already told her. Like, she knows." And he's like, "Get this man a shot, tequila." I go, "Here we go." Like, and that's the thing.
You don't strike me as a tequila shooter.
Well, that's the thing. If the choice is either tequila or Jaeger, I'd rather tequila.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I can handle tequila, not much of it, but I can handle the taste a little bit better than Jaeger.
Yeah.
I had a bad experience with Jaeger when I was younger, so tequila's the way to go for me.
Okay.
So he's like, "Tequila," and she's like, "You want top shelf?" And he goes, "You know what to do." She goes, "All right," and she walked away.
You know what to do.
And so she came.
Yeah, could this guy be any cooler?
Right.
He probably winked at her too when she walked away. You know.
Right. Well, and he had a.
Did you call her toots?
Yeah, hey, sugar. Yeah. No, and he had a full beard.
Yeah.
And I'm still baby faced, and I hate it. So I was like, this guy's everything that I'm not. And she brings
your wife is now moister.
Right. She's like, my wife's at home, like, Brandon's talking to somebody I'd leave him for. So my beta husband is talking to an alpha. And so she brings back a shot of tequila for him, a shot of tequila for me, a shot of tequila for Jason, and probably a shot of water for herself.
Right.
And she's like, "All right, here we go." And we toss it back, and after that, just everything. And she kept dropping drinks off in front of us, and she took care of us or fucked us up. However you want to look at it.
Hell yeah.
It's either a big plus or a big minus, whichever way you want it.
Okay.
And so, and she kept, like, the boys kept talking to her, obviously spitting game, whatever.
Right.
And I'd throw out the, like, "I'm married, I'm going to back up the bartender." And she's like, "You're funny, I like you." So that made me immediately not want to turn down any drinks. Because I'm like, if I say no to a drink, she's going to think I'm not cool now. So I kept going it because the bartender was like, you know, not aggressively peer pressuring me, but I was like, I don't want her to think I'm not cool.
Right,
so
yeah, you can't have the bartender at the bar and think you're not cool.
I can't have the bartender who thinks that all drunks are fucking dumbasses anyway.
Right.
Think that I'm not cool because I don't want to get drunk.
Of course.
So I kept going. We end the night. And I get home, walk into the bathroom, and I sit down.
By the way, this is my favorite part of the story. Okay, go on.
So I get home, walk straight into the bathroom. I sit on the toilet, and I'm sitting on the toilet like this. By the way, this is where the story gets graphic. So if you're grossed out, turn away now. Otherwise, strap in. Like this is where it gets gross. So I'm sitting on the toilet, and I'm bobbing and weaving like I'm on a cruise ship, and I had too much shrimp cocktail, and I'm just sitting there. Oh, this is getting bad, and my stomach is telling my head, "Hey, you should probably stop moving around so much because shit's about to come up," and my body's like. Too late. And there's no garbage can next to me, and I'm already sitting on the toilet, and I wasn't about to get up and put my face where my booty hole was. So
see, and that's the part that's impressive to me, because I think, like, when I'm sick, I have the same thing. I'm like, oh man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But if I were drunk, I would just be like, this needs to come out. I'd probably stick my face all the way in there, get puke splashing back up on my face, and not even like think about it until the next morning when I woke up.
Right. No,
so, I mean, that's impressive to me, I guess. Go on.
No, so I still sitting on the toilet. I lean over to the right, and I filled the bathtub. Like, not just like, oh, there's a spat. No, that bitch was full. Like
you clogged the drain.
The bathtub was clogged, and it was just, it was awful. And I don't remember how long I was in the bathroom in that situation, but I got up and I did the finishing touches that you could do when you're done using the bathroom. I wiped whatever. And I got up and I came out and laid on the living room floor on the carpet face down for however long. And I didn't know this until the next day when my wife told me, but she says she came out at 5 a.m, saw me laying down face down with my pants around my ankles, and like said a couple of times, she's like, "Hey, wake up, come to bed." And I went, And she goes, "Get up, come to bed." I go, She goes, "Get your ass up!" And she went back to bed. And I don't know how long, I guess it was like a half hour, if she came out at 5, because I got up at like 5:30, looked at the clock, and said, I should go to bed. And I get up, and I walk past the bathroom light's still on, and I glance over, and yep, there is still a vomit-filled tub. And I thought, if I don't clean that out, I'm going to get murdered the day after my birthday. Right. So I was like, okay, it looks like I'm cleaning a bathtub. And so
As you do.
Yeah, right. So I got in there, I got down on my knees, and I ladled my own... I fucking... Like I work in a soup kitchen. I fucking ladled my own vomit out of my bathtub like a man and fucking threw it in into the toilet. And then I rinsed out the bathtub, and I this is even more embarrassing to say now. I rinsed out the bathtub. I took a bottle of shampoo and and I threw it all over, and I scrubbed away at what parts of the tub that I thought were dirty. Yeah. And fucking I washed my bathtub with shampoo and I rinsed it all down. And I waddled my fat ass into the bed, and I laid down. And I shit you not, what it felt like was, I got into the bedroom, took off my clothes, laid down on the bed, my head hits the pillow, and my eyes close, and 3 seconds later, I woke to, "Get the fuck up!" And my eyes spring open, I look over, the bedroom light's on. My wife is in the towel because she just came out of the shower back into the bedroom. She goes, "You need to get up. I'm going to be late for work." And so I okay. And I struggle up, and I go and I help get the kids ready for the babysitter, get them dressed. I put shorts on me and a hoodie, and I grab a beanie and some Ray-Bans, and we get in the car. We get in the car and drive from our house over to East Moline. Okay. And I dropped the kids off at the babysitter. The babysitter knew it was my birthday the night before. Right. And she's just like, "How do you feel?" And I was like, "How the fuck do I look?" Does it look like I'm keeping it together? Because I'm doing a great acting job if that's the case. Right. And so I dropped the kids off. I'm like, "Daddy loves you. I'm out this bitch." Right. And I leave. I struggle home. I get in the house, and I lay face down back on the floor again. And that's all she wrote for a couple hours. I got the tablet out to Facebook message Jason because I left my phone in his car. And I was like, "Hey, whenever you're alive, come get me. And or come bring me my phone." Right. And he's like, "Okay." He comes over. He comes over about 1. And... brings in my phone, and he doesn't leave my house until like 10 p.m. Like 9 or 10 p.m.
Hell yeah.
And because he was feeling the same way. He's like, last night was horrible.
Right.
I'm like, okay, all right. Well, so I'm not lonely in this. He brought over Sprites and shit. He's like, he was doing the wingman thing. He's like, "Here we go. This is hopefully this helps." Right. And he's like, "So you just been sleeping all day?" He's like, "No, man, I still had to wake up and take the kids to the sitter." He goes, "You're a fucking man." Like when you right. He goes, "When you left my care, you were a goner. Like right. I'm and you took the kids to the sitter? You're fucking."
I was thinking about that. I was like, how did you drive at that point in your life?
And that's the thing. I was sober It's just, oh my God.